When I'm ready, I will take questions.
You come
I
in
will
here
take
today and you pretty much know what this is going to look like. You just don't know who you're going to be playing. What was it like kind of just sitting for the last week, feeling pretty solid in what you were doing, but still not knowing what the future exactly looks like?
Yeah, it's always interesting. Last week is one of the trickiest of the year because you're just in limbo and you don't want to lose momentum, but at the same time you don't know exactly, you don't have a target, so you don't know exactly where to go. And so the team, I thought, did a great job. We went to fundamentals and they just competed, and we practiced winning all week and got back to kind of basics and shored up some things I thought we could improve in, and it was just overall a fantastic week. But it's a little bit of torture too, not knowing, and so it's nice to have answers.
Sometimes coming into these weeks, it's like, are we going to be a 2 seed? Are we going to be a 3 seed? Like, that's what regional are we going to be in? It kind of felt like everything was pretty mapped out for you guys. So I guess just what was that like, kind of having all that be pretty certain, actually?
It did. The opponents changed, but the seeding was what they thought and what Charlie had projected, and then we understood the regional and how that would work. And while it's obviously not ideal, everybody would prefer we're in Portland. It is what it is. Those are things we can't control.
There were a lot of players on the team last year, but you guys went 4-14 in the conference. And they came back this year and obviously proved to them they were capable of doing more.
Yeah.
Just what were those players able to do kind of over the offseason heading into this season? I know belief has been a really big word that you guys have used, but what else other than belief has really led them to be able to host the first 2 rounds of the NCAA tournament in your labor?
Yeah, I mean, belief starts it, right? And so a year ago, the losing fueled the work ethic and the level of focus and commitment. So I think that was evident from day one. And I'm talking like last spring, even before everybody arrived. It was like, Coach, we're winning next year. Whatever it takes, we're winning. And that's the work ethic that they went into it. So if you look at all the returners, they all came back and leveled up. Everybody did, and they just stayed with it. They were easy to work with. They bought into everything, and so we've just been such a team. It's like, okay, I need you guys, and you guys need us as coaches, and that was so healthy all year long. And so I've alluded to that a lot, how coachable this group has been and remained even through the winning, which is sometimes difficult. To stay hungry and humble, and they did throughout the entire year. And I mean, even this week, we were getting better this week, and so it's just been it's beautiful to watch when a group has that mentality.
What's amazing to see back at this level again? What's amazing to program in the year?
It's just refreshing, and it means we weathered a storm, and we really did. It's the COVID thing was a storm for us. It caused so much chaos in our program and so much uncertainty. And while it's all logical, you can't really argue with it. It's what it was. So we had to weather some things, and it took a lot of, I think, patience and just almost contentment within the chaos, to be able to come out the other side with a clear head and just continue to stay with it, And so I think we believed in what we've done. We believed in who we are. And then once we were able to get some momentum going again, we just got back to what we do. And this is normal today. This is what we do at Oregon State. And so for me, it's just, man, it means a lot. This whole year has. It's just been like so joyful.
Was there a specific point this season at which you were convinced that this was a team that was going to be back in the tournament?
The night we beat Arizona. That night was the night in my mind that things shifted to where I thought we could believe big. I thought we'd be a really good team this year. I thought that was without question. But being really good and closing out tough teams and finding ways to win every night and develop that ultimate belief in yourself takes moments like that. And so when this team rose up, came from 5 down in the last 25 seconds and won that game in overtime, overcoming any doubt we may have had previously, that night I thought was the catalyst to everything that's happened since.
Coach, what's your initial reaction, obviously, just to facing Eastern Washington, having, of course, the other 2 teams, Texas A&M and Nebraska, potentially making their way down?
It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. If you have an elite point guard, you're in every game. that's the way it works. And Jessie Loera is a big-time point guard. She started at Arizona State in her career. She's playing now for her sister, at her sister's an assistant at Eastern Washington, and they are a great basketball family. And when the ball is in a player like that's hands that can do everything on the floor, can score as many as she wants, can assist, can run the show, and understands the game, you're a really good team. And now they have all the nice pieces around. They've had the best season, I think, their program's history. And, so they probably feel like they're a team of destiny. And, so we're fighting that, so we've got our hands full. It's going to be a real battle. All right. Thanks, you guys. Yep. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
You come into this week, you kind of know what your seating is. You know you're going to be hosting. You know what regional you're going to be in. What was it like coming into this week and really having the only thing that was a question is who your opponent was going to be?
This past week of practice was just full of competition. Obviously this week we weren't working towards a game, and that's always a hard part. In the middle of all of this, you're so used to prepping and planning every week, going into every week and knowing you have an opponent. But this week was hard because we didn't have that, and so our opponents were each other, just getting better offensively, defensively, making sure that we were keeping our standards high, knowing that we didn't have an opponent to go against this week. But now we're ready to scout and get ready for the game on either Saturday or Friday.
Was it nice just not really having to worry about the seating or if you're hosting or anything? Everything was, like I said, everything was kind of set.
Yeah, I would say it was. It was nice not having to worry about being seating or not or hosting or not, but I guess you never know what could happen. It's March Madness after all, that's why they call it that, so we didn't know for sure, obviously, but there was a general idea. So we were just excited to play more in Gill. We love Gill Coliseum, we love our fans, so we were just excited to have one or two more with them.
Did it kind of feel like what it did at the beginning of the season when you guys are practicing, getting ready, you're not facing opponents, you're just facing each other? And how do you kind of get back into that mindset when all season long you've been getting ready to face somebody?
For sure. It was a lot like the beginning of the season where we didn't have an opponent and we were just competing against each other because that's the way we're going to get better. So we brought in our scout guys. We were just competing and trying to hold each other accountable and playing at that high level even though we didn't have an opponent. So I would say it was a lot like the beginning of that year. And it was hard to get back into it, especially after you go to the Pac-12 and the Pac-12 was over. And then obviously it's quite a jump to doing everything and then kind of taking a step back, but it gave us a lot of time to reflect and just be thankful that we have this opportunity to be here. I know I'm so grateful to be hosting in Gill, and we're excited to get things going.
I do want to touch on that because obviously you were just your sophomore season. This is your first March Madness tournament. Considering everything that's happened this season, from the Pac-12 to you guys starting the season projected for 10 to making it to the top 10, top 5 being on the road. What does an achievement like this mean for you to be able to go to the March Madness tournament in just your second season?
It's so huge. I am so glad that I get this opportunity. Obviously, we didn't earn a higher seed in the beginning of the season. That 10th seed is what they had to give us, and I don't blame them one bit. We didn't earn that last year with our record, and so we deserve to be in that 10th spot. So we just saw that as an opportunity to prove everybody wrong and get better this year. Obviously, we had a lot of new pieces that we had to work with, freshmen and transfers all over the place, and so it was fun to figure that out, piece it together, and end up being a 3 seed in the tournament.
You're obviously you're coming off an injury. This week and a half between games or so, close to 2 weeks. Is that helpful?
I would say it's helpful, that extra rest.
Are you gonna have the mask?
Yeah.
You even with this delay,
yeah,
you're still gonna have to work with that.
Yep, I'll still be Batgirl for the foreseeable future. Perfect. Thank you so much.
Just general thoughts on the seat to get to host.
Yeah, it's super exciting. A great opportunity. Obviously, super excited to have games in Corvallis and be able to have Beaver Nation there with us, supporting us, and it's super cool for me having kind of my hometown school a little bit coming in, and so I'm super excited about where we're at, and regardless of the teams, we're ready to go to work.
How well do you know some of the players? Do you know some of the players on that team?
Really well, yeah. Jacinta Buckley is one of my best friends. Played at AU with her, and then Jamie Luetta helped me with my Maui camp last year and grew up near me. Both amazing people and amazing players and good friends of mine, so I'm excited to have them in Corvallis.
Are you going to be texting this week with them, or is it going to be kind of...
I FaceTimed Jacinta right after they announced it, and then I've been texting with her. So it's super exciting and obviously kind of bittersweet that we have to go against each other, but I'm just excited to see them as friends and then compete against them for sure.
This past week, you've had some time off in between after 2 games in 2 days in Pac-12. What's it just been like, kind of hitting the reset button to get ready for this?
It's been amazing. I think we had a really good week of practice, and it allows you to really hone in on yourself and your own weaknesses. I mean, we spend a lot of time during season preparing for other teams and specific scouts and things like that. So to be able to just kind of play basketball, get back to the basics, and work on things that kind of get neglected in the nitty-gritty of the season. It's been super beneficial, and yesterday's practice specifically, we played 3-on-3 a lot, got back to just kind of having fun, letting loose. So I think that was really good for the team, and so we're excited to get back to work this week, obviously knowing our opponent.
You obviously got a taste of the NCAA tournament. What would these last 2 years been like? Hitting some lows and getting back to this point. What have they been like?
It's tough for sure. I mean, obviously this tournament is kind of why we do it, and it's a pinnacle. It's why college basketball is what it is. It's the end-all be-all. It's the goal, and so not to be there for 2 years is definitely really tough. But I'm just super stoked to be back in this position and have this opportunity. And so, yeah, I'm just so excited. I'm grateful, and this is what we've worked for, and we've earned it. And this team is amazing. So, if nothing else, I'm just excited I get to play more games with them.
Why do you think everyone on this roster decided last spring to come back and get this thing going? Because you guys had options, obviously.
Yeah, I think just we saw the potential, and we had that belief that we could be, the team that we've turned into, and even more. I think there's still so much room for growth, and I think we get better every game, and experiencing wins and losses, and learning through all of it. So I think we just saw that, and we believed in the culture that Coach Rueck has built, and in the staff, and in each other, and that we could, get back to where we were a few years ago. So I think just the character in the room and is what allowed us to recognize that. Good? Perfect. Thank you.